Hey guys, I just posted a video and a photo about our new little blue jar that will be coming out on St. Patrick's Day, and rocking my alchemy hat today. And so I talked a little bit about the jar, but I really want to talk more about the symbol on the front of it, which is known as the seed of life. Some of you may already know that, some of you may not. In the realm of sacred geometry, like in the classes that I teach, we teach that there are 14 symbols inside of the family, I call it, of sacred geometry. So 14 symbols to choose from. Vibe Bottle chooses the seed of life as its logo. So of all of the things we could have chosen as our logo, we chose the seed of life. And why is that? Well, even though the flower of life is powerful, and so is the Metatron's cube, and I have an affinity for the Metatron's cube because I have a special relationship with Archangel Metatron. I kind of felt like, of everything to choose from, that the seed of life was the most appropriate, and I'll tell you why. And strap on your helmets. This is a lot of information. You might want to get comfortable. Okay. And I'll try to do it as concise as possible. So the seed of life consists of 7 circles, right? Like the 7 chakras, 7 days of the week. 7 circles. Now, this is interpreted in many ways. I particularly view the seed of life as a loving reminder when it comes to life itself, that the seed is the beginning of a journey, right? And it contains all of the information it needs for its journey. And eventually it blossoms into, the magnificence of its creation, which is the destination, right? To reach upward and outward, to become, to reach your potentiality, is the journey of every living creature, essentially, from bacteria to man to trees, whatever else in between. Every animal, every creature. Okay, so it represents essentially a full life cycle. Okay, but now let's break down the circles. There's 7 circles. There's 1 in the middle, and then there's 3 above and 3 below, and they all overlap because they're intertwined. Now, if you look at health, and I don't just mean eating kale. I mean health being something everybody can agree on. Not everybody can agree on right and wrong and what to do with one issue or another. But if you ask anybody on Earth, 99 out of 100 people will ask. If you ask them, 99 out of 100 people will answer yes. If you ask them, do you want to be healthy? Would you prefer to be healthy over unhealthy? Of course, you would love to be healthy because. You would prefer to be healthy because in health we experience ease and growth, and joy and happiness. And when we're not healthy, we experience suffering, like the Buddhists would say. Okay. Now, 7 realms. Now, there's obviously millions of ways to slice your life up into little pieces and compartments, but my argument is this: if you could master these 7 realms, not even master, but just balance them, balance 7 realms of health, you would become a mythical creature with unlimited power. Okay? So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Number 1, physical health. Now, how do they measure physical health? And I want to focus on this because it's relatable, it's defensible, it's scientific data. Okay? How do they measure physical health? Well, take a muscle, okay? How do you measure the health of a muscle? Well, is it strong? Okay, so can it lift weight and exert force? 2, is that same muscle flexible? So does it have freedom and range of motion? Okay. Next, does that muscle have endurance? Is it conditioned? Can it take a licking and keep on ticking? Can it perform for extended periods of time? Can it take you, on a marathoner's run? Or, can you do a strongman feat? You see those strongman contests. Can you do these feats for extended periods of time? Okay, so really quick again: strength, flexibility, and endurance. Okay, now put a pin in that. Now copy paste, apply that to the other 6 realms of health. So you have physical health, you have mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health, environmental health, which is your immediate environment and like the world environment, global environment. So you have environmental health, and then you have social health, meaning your relationships. Okay, so there's the 7 realms: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, environmental, social. Okay, now apply this question to every single one of those realms. Okay, am I physically strong, flexible, and do I have endurance? Am I emotionally strong? Do I have emotional flexibility? And do I have emotional endurance? That's a big question right there. And I don't want to overwhelm you, so just take a second to think about that. What do those things mean? How does that feel? And this is something you can contemplate over time. You might even want to write this down and do some meditations about this later, okay? So that's, we've covered physical and emotional. Now, am I mentally strong? Am I mentally flexible? Meaning, like, can I problem solve? Can I change on the fly? Things like that. And does my mind have endurance? Am I mentally fit for prolonged periods of time? It's an interesting question. And these things can really bring about a lot of questions about, choices we make as far as health and what we're doing to keep ourselves healthy. Okay, let's keep going. So financially, am I financially strong? Do I have financial flexibility? And do I have financial endurance? Meaning, do I got short money or long money? If you want to talk in street language, do I got juice or do I have sauce or do I have both? Do I have a short-term plan? Do I have a long-term plan? Okay. And whatever anybody wants to talk about finance, you can, however you have your opinion when it comes to money, that's cool. At the end, for me, it's just energy, and you can apply it in 2 different ways. You can build an orphanage with money. You can build a tank. It just depends on the person. Okay. Next, let's talk about our environmental health. So is my environment, this is an interesting one to ask, is my environment strong? Meaning, does it supplement my growth? Does it supplement me? Does it support me and my dreams? Is my environment flexible? Meaning, is it dynamic? Can I change it to my needs? Or is it very stuck or stagnant? This has to do a lot with cleanliness. Also, because it's hard to move stuff around when you have too much stuff, too much clutter. And then endurance, like, is my environment secure, and can it keep me safe for a long time, or is it temporary? And there's no right or wrong about any of these, just it's just what is supplementing your health, right? And last but not least, my relationships. Are my relationships strong? Are they flexible? Meaning, do I have freedom in my relationships? And you could actually apply that to environment. Do I have freedom inside my environment? So do I have freedom in my relationships, and do they endure? I went through a lot of stuff this last year with my relationships. Some of them endured, and some of them have not, and some of them, to be continued. But that very simple way of measuring physical strength or health, by using strength, flexibility, and endurance as a metric for health, and applying that to all the different realms, can be a very, very powerful tool. And it's not a right or wrong thing. It's just like, it's an obvious truth. It's a self-verifying truth. And a lot of the time when it comes to self-development, it's a lot of looking in the mirror and being honest about what you're doing and not doing to supplement your health, and what you're doing to promote or take away from that. So take a step back to my original subject, which is the seat of life. The seat of life has 7 circles. The physical in the middle, the physical body is an intersection of all those other things. And if you think about it, the top 3 are mental, emotional, and spiritual, and those are almost ethereal. We know that we have these aspects in us, but you can't physically touch them, right? You can't touch emotions or thoughts or spirit. But below you have the physical. You can touch money, you can touch the people that you're in relationship with, and you can touch your environment in a physical way. So you could almost say that the physical body is a junction between the ethereal and the material world. The top 3 circles are the ethereal, and the bottom 3 are the material. And it's almost like this is the 5th dimension, this is the 3rd dimension, and we are the 4th. Like, we're living in height, width, length, and time. We're living in 4 dimensions. Humans, I think, are 4-dimensional humans, or beings, sorry. So back to my original point, of all of the sacred geometry, and just so you know, like, every single one of the sacred geometric shapes has this type of power to it, this powerful representation. Of all of them we could have chosen, we chose the seat of life because it represents health. What is Vibe Bottle about? It's about health. It's about promoting healing and healthy lifestyles and healthy choices in a healthy world and a healed world, and health for ourselves and health for our children and health for future generations, which is why we promote positive words, positive symbols, glass, which is great for the environment, and it's recyclable and it's BPA free. There's no poison in it. Everything that we do, everything we talk about, from Reiki healers to eating well to going to the gym to doing yoga, meditation, it's about health. It's not about, some people think it's about being better than other people, but that's not higher consciousness. That's judgment, right? Higher consciousness allows you to ascend to, like, evolve to and becoming a better version of yourself, while also learning that you're one with everybody, not better than everybody. So watch out for, like, the fake hippies. Fake hippies, like, they want to be better than other people. Like, real hippies know that, like, we all have a better version of ourselves that exists within ourselves, and that health is really just about ascending to that part of ourselves and living in that, and inviting other people, not judging people for not being a part of it, but inviting other people to live in this lifestyle, or whatever works for them. Anyway, so the seat of life encompasses all of those realms of health, which Vibe Bottle is about, and which is why it's our logo, why it's on our new little blue jar, and why, for me, the rest of my life, it's always going to be a metric for where I'm at. And if, like I said, if I could accomplish strength, endurance, and flexibility in every one of those realms, I'm pretty sure I would turn into a 20-foot golden eagle made of light. And I'm pretty sure I would just reach the, like, pinnacle of my existence. And until then, I'm just gonna keep trying. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy that bottle. I hope you guys enjoy the stuff I make. I put a lot of love and knowledge and intention into everything that I do. I don't really do anything, like, casually, I guess. And I hope, you know, this touches your life like it has mine. Sacred geometry has touched my life. I've been influenced by a lot of different teachings and things. And I don't ever want to, like, project them on anybody, but I always want to make them available to people so they can pick and choose what works for them, what doesn't. Yeah, and please share the message. Always share the message.